Morning, people. Oops.
Hey, good morning.
Morning, everyone.
Okay, now quick. All righty. We'll just look at ES here. We're making higher lows on the month, stuck right in the middle of consolidation. It made a lower high on the week. Now we're coming right back down this big ass green candle here on the weekly. Could see 42.01 on ES. It's got to take out yesterday's low. That's where everything's going to fall. If we see ES break 4355, it's going to it could drop to 41.29 pretty quickly. We're stuck right in the middle of the range, so this thing is right in the middle between pivot high and pivot low. Not a good spot to be. Let's take a look at regular spot. I'm sure it's going to be the same exact thing here. Yeah, so right off the bat here, this thing shot back and forth yesterday, making a higher high. There's major support resistance in both areas. It's wedging. We're stuck right in the middle of the range right here, pre-market as well. Going to open up around 437, 438. Same exact setup here. Come down this big ass green candle. This thing could drop like an absolute rock. It did make a higher low and the last time it came down. So we need to see that. If it ever breaks 410, this thing will drop like an absolute rocket. See. It could just be absolutely in trouble. So anything that takes out yesterday's lows, guys, on any ticker is going to be short. Take a look real quick. Somebody was nice enough to send me a small gap list here. It's got some really good tickers on it. Let's take a look at it right quick. AXXM here, big gap up, pre-market starting to come back down. If it breaks 39.02 at any point, it'll be short. Let's take a look at the higher time frames. First off, we get a false break here. It took the it filled this gap right here on the weekly, starting to come right back down. Major sell-off. That spike there probably going to be ate up very rapidly, very rapidly. So keep an eye on AXSM this morning. $39 is the level it needs to break to continue to sell off. It actually looks pretty damn good here. I'm actually going to add it on my screen. Let's see here. AXSM. So keep an eye on this thing here. We know it's been selling off. We get that big spike up. It's starting to make lower highs, lower lows pre-market here. Lulu. Be able to go in a short there. Target would be yesterday's low. And then, of course, it's coming down on the higher time frame. This right here would be the pullback or profit taking that we're seeing pre-market on the AXSM. Lulu's gapped up here, starting to see around 394. It's definitely cupping on the month. This thing can still come up to see 485 very quickly. It'd be a good spot to buy in if we get a pullback on it pre-market here or at the open. 402. It needs to break that 402 level. Right now, it's still stuck in the middle of range. It's a break retest on a 4 hour. It needs to break that 398. 398 takes you 402, and then we can go on up to 485. That's another nice one there. Plug. A few seconds here. Gap up this morning, started to come back down. Sitting around top of support at $27. 27 gets us right back in the middle of range. Still making higher highs, higher lows, starting to cup right here. It could pull back up if it stays above 27.05. We could see 31 very quickly. Yeah, 27.48 was like a resistance level here. Yeah. Sitting right below right now. I need to keep an eye on it. I got actually watching over on this other screen. Pull up NQ real quick. NQ stuck right in the middle of the range here, guys. We'll keep an eye on that thing, and also Tesla here. So if I tell you this, at any second, if it breaks 13,896, it'll be long. If it breaks the low of this wicker here at any point this morning, it'll be short. So short under 13,846. It will be long over 896. All right. If you want to be aggressive, it goes short right under this wick right here at 864. Okay, to break retest. See what it does here. If it breaks this wick right here, it will be short. So it needs to break 864. Test is long right now. Target's going to be pivot 15. NQ's long, guys. Next time it breaks high, data be long again, so it breaks 13. If it breaks back above 13.90 or 13.19, it'll be long again. All right. NQ is going to be short if it breaks this wick right here. Just keep that in mind. NQ short. We're going to target the low of this wick right here. Pull back up. Lagging over here. MNQ short. We're going to target this wick right there. Remember, if we look at this 60, it's stuck right in the middle of range here. Breaking either direction, we see this thing selling off here. Now the target would be the low of this candle right here. Now we're just waiting. All this right here is consolidation. This is on the 60. We're stuck right in the middle of it, basically. Any point it takes to high this candle here, it'll be long. Right now we need to wait. If it breaks this candle here, we're gonna target this wick right here. Right now it's stuck right in the middle. Stuck right back in the middle range. These other tickers, AXSCM is going to be short right here in the low of day, guys. We're going to target 50% gap fill, target 37 right now, and then 34.46. AXSM. Let's go to AXSM here. NQ breaks high or low to be long or short. So we're waiting on it. AXSM, or shit. If NQ breaks a high, we're going to target the body, the wick, body wick. It can come back up to 13.947. Lulu's just a gap and go here, just absolutely ripping long right this second. NQ is long right this second. There's a pullback. If it breaks this candle again, it'll be long again. We're going to target 50% of this candle right here at 2.3. The open, the high. There's a pullback in itself. As soon as it breaks high in day, it'll be long again. Right there, it's long again. All right, target 50%, open high, then a wick. See it pulling back right here, the pullback in itself. I'm seeing how far back it retraces each time. Next entry is going to be over the high of this candle. We got 1 minute left in current candle. Lulu, same thing, guys. Break 405.38, be long again. NQ is long right this second. We're going to target 50% of wick. And wait a second. If you're in it, you need to cut it. Right here is support right on top of that wick. If it breaks that wick there, we can come back down to pivot. If it breaks this wick right here, we'll target the high. AXSM still coming down here. Plug is short as well, guys. Target 50% gap fill and gap fill. BA's ripping. Here's what's going on with this thing. Getting tighter and tighter until it breathes out. Short right this second. All right, Lulu's fishing to go long again here. If it breaks 405.38. Test is going to be short, guys. If it breaks 996, it'd be a break retest to the downside. So retest to pivot 15, rejection off of it currently. So it breaks 996, target's going to be 990, 988, 985. AXSM still coming down, plug still coming down. First target on the AXSM target 37.50. First target on plug 26. Right back in the middle of range on the NQ here. AXSM short again right this second. Now remember, this thing gapped up this morning. I don't know why it did, but it's been selling off. So right here on the week, we see expansion of range. And this could be on the 5-minute. The pattern's the only thing that matters here, guys. Right here, expand the range. It also filled this gap over here. Expand the range, come back as a pullback to the downside here. It's selling off on the lower time frames for sure. It can come back down here in the 21.85, or it could eventually cup and handle here. It gapped up for some reason, so anytime you're playing a pullback on it or the gap fill, you got to keep it in the back of your mind. It gapped up for some reason. There's a chance that it does start to pull back up if we're on the day. Same thing with plug. One reason you target that 50% gap fill first, or any pivot that's in the way. But you can see right here on the daily 4-hour major sell-off here. NQ short right now, guys. NQ short. If you want to be safe, you can wait till it breaks 852, 13,852. That's going to be the target right this second. If it breaks 852, we'll see 846. If it breaks 846, it'll be an absolute monster sell-off here. AXS still coming down here. That was on your gap list, Christian. NQ broke here. It's going to be short again under current candles low right this second. Next target is going to be 827, guys. If it breaks 827, target will be 786. 13 show through 786 and 729. All right, let's pull this up right quick. We want to see if it bounces off prior support level here. So when these things start pulling back, I look for resistance. There's one right here. There's one right here too. Anytime it breaks this low right here, it'll be short. We're going to target this pivot here. And it's important to be mindful of all time frames as well. Now there's a chance it comes right back up to 13.881 and retest. All right, we're coming back down that spring big ass red candle here. It's long right this second. We're going to target 70, and then we could see 81. On 3015, we made a higher low here. It's failed to touch. All right, it makes it bullish automatically. Right here. So this right here is a double bottom. The video is short. All right, guys. Amazon's gonna be short on a low a day. NQ long, target's gonna be pivot 5-minute, guys. 881 now. Remember, if it comes down, it fails to touch it by 1 cent, automatically makes it bullish. Target the pivot. So right here's that pivot. We extended over, came down double bottom, come back up. Now look, this can act as a resistance. This is major resistance here. Once how it reacts to this level, it can come back down and break through it. It can push through. If it pushes through, you want to see it retest for the next leg up. Your target be bodies and wicks. Right. AXSM still coming down. It's at first target right now. MQs do not stop here. There's a target. There's high day. Hope you caught that long. I can't enter my account. It's lagging. Big A still blowing through the roof here. High day. Now you be careful because the last time it did this, or yesterday it did this, it expanded range and only came right back down. So these patterns right here, you gotta keep in mind, especially if they're fresh. Because some people waited and took it when it broke high day here. They got stopped out just now. There's a pullback. If it breaks this candle here, we'll see bodies, wicks. All right. Baba puking. Expanded a range. It's doing this. Remember though too, on the 60, it's still stuck right in the middle range. These candles are huge. You're talking about volatile. These things are monsters. So we long again, as soon as it breaks the high of this candle here, it's a pullback in itself, the top side. We're going to target here and here. Remember, it came down and it failed to touch it. It can come up, fail to touch, and turn around and pull right back down. It could also expand the range in reverse as well. So we can do a couple of things. It could expand it, trapping buyers, taking out stops, creating liquidity to sell back off. NQ is going to be long again right this second. Target's going to be the high. If it breaks this wick right here, we'll short it. Target's going to be the bodies here. All right, and then it can come back down. We'll target here, pivot. Right off the bat, we know there's a lot of resistance right here. This entire level here is a major resistance level. Short right this second. Target here, here, pivot, 50%, body, low. And Q. There's target hit right here, right there on the bodies. Now we're waiting. Here's the 2 entries, guys. It's gonna be long over this. It's gonna be long over high day. If I can draw it. Long over high day. It's gonna be short again on a low of this candle here. The next target will be pivot right here. Now we know there's major resistance here, so it can pull up only to pull back down. All right. Expanding. Costco's break retest gonna be long over high day here, so over 588.50. Target will be 590. All right, NQ's gonna be longer at the second if you want to scalp it. Target's gonna be its high. All right, next target's gonna be here. You may want to take profits on it. There's a break. It made a new high here. It can come up to 13,947 here. If it breaks this pivot, we'll see an explosion. Again, when it comes up, you gotta be aware price can expand the range only to come right back down. All right, creates liquidity. These wicks right here should now act as a support level if we're going to continue higher, guys. Right here, this should act as a support level. All right. So I'm making middle notes every time it does this. I'm actually watching the candle to see if it pulls back. It can happen in current candle. All right, so you'll never see the pullback. It actually be in itself. So if you pull the 1 minute up, you would see it. Remember, if it comes up, it fails to touch it by 1 cent here, that's bearish automatically. We'll roll back down to 13,881. Right. So right now, there's a few things that can happen here. Double top rejection. All right, right now it's testing support here. Let's see if it holds. This entire area here is support. Was resistance, it could act as support. Support. And support. If it pulls back above this candle here, it'll be long. I'll target 50% in high day. All right. It's long right now. First target met. You may want to just scalp, guys. Same thing here. If it breaks again, you can take it long again. Long again in the second, target 50%. Just scalp it. It's almost 10 points every time it rocks back and forth here. What it's doing is it's bouncing. It's bouncing on support. It's bouncing on support. NQ breaks 923. It's going to be short. We're going to target this wick right here at 914, 915. NQ is going to be long again over 50% over the high current candle at 98 or 930, 938 can be long. Need to break current candle's high. Right there, the high of this candle. NQ did go short. I don't know if you hit it or not. Target's this wick right here. All right. And then the bodies support. So right here, this line is. Yeah, so the wick right here. And the bodies. All right. This entire area is resistance, aka support. If it breaks this current candle's high, it will be long. It's long right this second or target high of the day right here. And you may want to break it down to 50%. NQ gets really fun over 947, guys. If it breaks 947, we can see 14,019. Come on, come on, come on, come on. NQ, look at there, boy. I hope you caught that. Woo. We eating today. Damn. Woo. Guys, I hope you caught that. Holy shit. I told you you're going to be getting real over 947. And if you took it when it popped up here and targeted this high here, you would have caught every fucking penny of that just about. It moves so fast. Gonna be long again right this second. Whew, shit. That's crazy. Long again. It blows my mind. Get my damn motherboard up, baby. This thing just went from 830 to 880 or 980. You gotta be careful. We're getting close to exhaustion risk here. I'm gonna sell here. And it might be a mistake. I think we're exhaustion risk. Pull back. If you're in, wait. Just wait. Don't do what I did. Yeah. So I pushed up here. I got money to play with. We can't come back to 947 here shortly. All right. We can come back to 13,947. See, I timed it too early. I hopped in too early on that pullback. Exhaustion risk pullback.
Jerry, I tried to grab that. I clicked buy bid. Should I have just clicked buy market?
No, just buy. You can hit buy market. You can if you want filled. If you hit buy bid, it don't fill instantly. Cancel and rebuy. Yeah. I get filled quickly on buy bid. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it won't fill. It's got to cancel it. But yeah, if you want in now, market. Market's where to go. Let's see what happens here. If it starts turning red, we'll sell it back off on here. $10. It breaks here. If it comes up and it fails, it'll sell back off to current candles low. Short it here. Now, guys, if it breaks this candle right here, it will be long.
Okay, I got that one.
Nice.
Dude, that's only one contract. That's crazy how fast that happens.
Yeah. Shit. Right down here was crazy.
Yeah, I
That's
just
50
made 40
points.
points. I freaking missed that. Damn.
Yeah, blink. Damn it. I love it. It's fun, but at the same time, you know, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, you're done. You know, you're done. You're ready to go for the day. You're like, oh man. But then again, you're like, dang, I want to keep making money. I need to keep playing. Big A's absolutely going to the moon here.
It's like Tesla's about to break.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Amazon ripping. AXSM plug both turned around. AMD's long right this second. Right here, it's sitting on support, NQ. This wick right here is a support level. Let's go. This thing just ripped. I mean, this thing moved. See, the body's getting smaller now. We got 3 minutes left of current candle. Body's smaller. Still got a few minutes. Here's what I'm going to call it right now, guys. We're going to come back to retest this pivot. If not this pivot here, we will come back to retest this and push it back off. Okay. Yeah. Oh. What you do here? Holy shit! It's insane. There's 20 points. Google's break retest outside. Amazon on support here, sitting resistance on the pivot. AMD broke. Adobe's coming up. Oh, shit. Ooh, I can't never get over that. All I'm doing is I'm playing these pullbacks, topside guys. You ripping. Go, go, go. This thing is not fucking stopping, guys.
Well, now we're about to break the highs on the 4 hour here.
Yeah, if it breaks that, it's a big ass red candle straight to the moon, guys.
Green candle.
Oh shit. Mind blowing. I'm telling you what, we're fixing to take a big push down here where exhaustion is. Shorter here. $8 downside. It's exhausted, I can tell you that. And you're right. We're right there on that 4-hour, guys. Expand that range, you can come right back down and retest this pivot before pushing back off. Let's short it here. Still really strong though. It will be long if it breaks high day. It's a pullback there. It's a strong pullback, less than 30% pullback current candle or previous candle. Buy. Is it going to break that 4-hour? Let's see. You be careful right here. It's an exhaustion. Be very careful with your scalping. If it breaks the current candle's low, it will be short. All right. If it breaks out, it'll be long. Just wait on it.
The wick, you mean?
What's that?
Right there. The candle wick low.
Yeah,
Take it
low of the
short.
candle will be short. Target will be this wick here. So if it takes the current candle's low out, the target will be this wick here. If it takes the high, it'll be long. Be careful. So on that 4-hour, to expand the range, trap buyers only to come right back down in a range. You gotta remember this damn thing just ran from here to here with hardly any rest. There's a pullback here and a pullback here and a pullback here, but still you gotta be real careful. Buy. Oh shit, it's just not gonna stop. It's just not gonna stop. Can't get over it. I'm surprised I ain't traded futures before now. Etsy's long right here, guys. AMD's a break retest if it takes high day to be long. Amazon's a break retest if it takes high day to be long. Same thing with Tesla. We are due a red candle. Now let me clear this. It's important to show you a 60. And right now it's a break retest on 1530. All right, but look right here. It's important that you're so focused on a 5-minute, you'll disregard the higher time frames. This right here's expansion, just like we were seeing on AXSM, I think this morning. What they're doing, they could trap buyers in here, run these stops for liquidity, and take this thing right back down if they want to. If it breaks this current candle right here on the 60, anytime we can see 50% open low a day. What we want to see is it break retest, right? And that's doing that on a 515, 50 or 1530, sorry, right now, right? So that's a sign of strength. It needs to continue higher though. Watch here. So there's expansion. If it's going to continue higher, we want to see it break retest 60 top side, right? We want to make a higher high and a higher low. We want this resistance. This is resistance here to become a support level. If they can't take it down, there's only one direction going, that's up. Right here on the 60, this is one big ass green candle. It's fucking huge, right? Clean price action. Now, if we look at this thing here, right here, see that's resistance support level there. Now, if we go to your right here and look at it, where price starts to hesitate, it's right there in this chop. This is a consolidation here, right? And we come to your right, we see it here. You wonder why price hesitates on the right side here is because of this shit right here. All right. So when price comes back up, there's not much resistance in this range. There's some in here. So when it gets in this range here, it's a little choppy. But from here to here, it's very smooth. And really, this entire thing is one big ass red candle. If there's going to be any hesitation, it'll be in this range here. So you want to know the compound twos, not all large candles are created equal. I can tell you that. Not all. Just because you see a big ass red or green candle on the higher time frame, they're not all equal. If we go to the weekly, it's right here. If the weekly starts to push up, we can see 370. So right here, 370 would be a retest on the pivot on the weekly. And if we go to the 4 hour, we can see that big red candle. On the daily, it's just one big candle. But there's that big candle right there, target being, let's see, 14,188, 14,246. All right, it can happen if it wants to. If it's not a false break to the top side. Longer. Now, if we look at the 5 minute, it's starting to chop a little bit here, and that's expected. We're 10 o'clock. We just had that big move. This is a consolidation. This is the rest. Let's go. Let's go. Can you feel me? Whew. There's $8 right there. This thing, I don't know. I'm scared of it right now. I can tell you that. I've never seen nothing like it. I've not seen nothing like it. Crazy. I can tell you what, it's a break retest 60 now, guys. It's a break retest on the 1530 top side as well. So we're making higher highs, higher lows. This prior resistance is now a support level. And it's always important to look at all the signals all the way around. You got to have the entire picture. If you're so focused on a 5 minute, you'll not see major resistance support levels on these lower time frame or the higher time frames. You have to know them. You got to know where everything is. Right here's a break. There's a retest, the top side. Now, see that wick there? It comes back to retest that level, pushing that. And also, you'll hear me say sometimes where price expands the range. There's expansion to the downside right there on that wick. So right here, see that wick pull back? If your stop had been directly on the pivot, you would have been stopped out as expansion. They do it on purpose. Right? Now, if they try to take it down, they fail. There's only one direction to go, and that's up. So they try to take it back down there. It failed. They pushed it right back up. So anytime it broke the high day or the high of this candle here, it was long again. This damn thing, remember, it came down. What I say, I always say it every day. If it comes down, it fails to touch it by 1 penny. It's bullish. Same thing. If it comes up and it fails to touch it by 1 cent. It's bearish immediately. And that shit ripped right back to the top. There's always a chance it ripped right back to the top. Same thing happened yesterday afternoon. It ripped back up. It tested, so the target was pivot, and it just blew right through it. It went right back to high day. Go to 5 minute here. Right here, price pushes up. Every time it wicks back in itself, that's an inside candle or consolidation. Inside consolidation. All right, inside consolidation. Even what's going on right now, yeah, it's inside itself there. That is a consolidation. So let me do this right here. Price comes up. Yeah, I want to draw it clean because this pattern is in everything here. If it breaks high, that'll be long again here. There is a support level right here. It can come back to retest that level, to retest this level here, or chop. Takes the high day to be long. See how the bodies are getting smaller and smaller here? So large, large, and it starts, well, they just start getting smaller. So medium, that's volume decreasing. Volume is decreasing. Again, we can still come back to retest these pivots here. Give me my money, don't you play with me. Long, boys and girls. I'm done playing. Price pushes up, it pulls back, so it's in itself, right? And as soon as it breaks prior candle's high, it's long. This right here is consolidation. All right, that's consolidation. So it's long right now. NQ is long here, guys. Never ceases to amaze. It takes a lot of money, guys, to push NQ up this much. This fucking thing's parabolic. Tesla's long here, guys. Nvidia's long, target pivot 15. Amazon's break retest moving. Facebook's long. AMD's long. Adobe's long. Etsy's long. The whole market's pushing up. I don't know why, but it is. Take advantage of it, so I can tell you. Anyway, this wave is in everything. This wave is between the peak and the trough here. This is a consolidation. And I say it's a lot because this wave is in everything. All right, that wave is a pullback in between two candles. So right here, the candle pushed up. The next candle opens up inside. It's literally inside this candle here. When it breaks the current, when it breaks prior candle's high, it's long immediately. All right, that's a consolidation. The consolidation is healthy because that is the rest that it needs to continue higher. All right, that's all it needs. And if you, when it pulls back in itself, so say the candle pulls up, comes up, makes a new high. It pulls back in itself. Boom. Right now, you want to make sure it don't pull back more than 50%, ideally 25, 30. As soon as it comes back up and breaks the high candle, it's long. So, you know, in the beginning of the day, we're playing this move in current candle on here. In current candle, or at the beginning of the day, we're playing one candle. As the day progresses, we start playing two candles. All right, and as the day gets longer, we start playing, you know, it could be a consolidation on 4 or 5 candles. So it can come up. There could be a consolidation where it could be 3 candles, 4 candles. It don't matter how many. It's going to be long over the tallest wick or the lowest wick. It don't make a shit which way it breaks. I could care less. I could care less which way it breaks. All right. So we go from 1 candle to 2 candles to 3 candles to this group of candles here. All right. All this is consolidation. All these candles here is the same shit. It's the same wave. Now, these lines here could be the pivots. All right. We play the pivots the same damn way. Everything in the pivot, between pivot high and a pivot low, is a consolidation right here. All this shit is a consolidation. It's also a range. All right. It's also chop. You know, the smoother the price action is in there, you know, the better it is. We can trade it easier. All right. This thing right here wants to pull back. It can come back to retest that candle here. I'm telling you, when it starts to pull back, it's going to be massive. Short it here. I may regret it. I'll tell you this, we're ready for a big pullback here. People take profits on it. There we go. There we go. Right here on that wick. See that wick right there? That wick support. Again, if the ball starts going, we can come back to retest this pivot here. These pivots are magnets. So we're now, this wave is everything. The top of the wave could be a pivot. The bottom could be a pivot. So pivot high, pivot low, everything in the middle. So right here, these pivots is inside this wave. Now, we can play the top, the breakout. So when it breaks the highest wick in the range here, and it's a breakout. If it breaks the lowest wick, it's a breakdown. Right here on this current wick right here, on the candle, on the chart right here, see that wick up there? There's resistance here. Right? We know there's resistance there because price rejected there. All right, we can play the breakout, we can play the breakdown, we can play reversal. So everything in between the peak of this wave and the trough, we can play the reversals. We never want to just guess the top or the bottom. You want to, be at least 25% from the top or bottom for reversals. Ideally, you want to break the strong support resistance levels, but you can play the range as long as there's enough money in there. You can play the shit of it. Go long here. Let's see how it acts here. It's a double top here, long. So what it do? It came back to retest. See that wick right there? It came back to retest it. It consolidated. So it looks like this right here. It pushed up to that wick. It pulled back to this one and broke. So as soon as it broke high day here, it's long. You can take it early. See, it's pulling back. This wick right here could act as a support right here. So just play the pullback on the support level. And the long again over high. Just back and forth, back and forth. But again, all this right here is consolidation. So when it came back to retest this wick right here, so when I'm looking on these pullbacks, I want to hold. If it starts breaking major support levels, we're looking at reversal. So if you don't know the rules for reversal, you want to draw the day's range. Second here. You want price to be at least 25% from the top. All right. And from the 25%, you want to pick the strongest support resistance level, which is right here. All right. And you're going to enter when it breaks the lowest wick in the range. So here. So if it's going to reverse, it'll be short under that wick right there. And it does a couple different things. First off, it runs stops. All right. So it should go immediately. Secondly, all this, when it comes back through, is a consolidation or rest. And it gives you a tight stop. When it breaks that wick there, your stop goes 30 cents below support right there. So if it breaks, you immediately go. If it starts to pull back and breaks that level there, you cut it. Now, this is one big ass green candle here from high day down to the low. If it starts to reverse again, you'll target, support levels and the wicks. The bodies of wicks are two separate targets. Ultimately, target pivot. All right. That wave is in everything. That wave is in absolute everything. That wave is a break and a retest. That wave is a pullback. It's a breakdown. short here. Come on, give me my money. Give me my money. Right here's support. Now, what I'm doing is when I'm looking at this thing come back up, first off, I know it just ran from here and here. It's exhausted, which means I really want to see this thing consolidate or chop sideways for a little bit. It's healthy. You know, to see big ass green candle after big green candle is not healthy. It's price can come back down just as fast as it went up, right? Because that's a big green candle. So it could be a big red candle on the way back down. Now, as long as it's pushing up, you know, you ride with it. But again, when it starts getting exhausted, it is exhausted here. You just gotta be more. You gotta guard your profits, right? So, Facebook break retest still going. Amazon's gonna be long. Overhigh day. AMD still pushing here. Let's watch it. That wave is in everything, and it always will be. It always has been. So if you know exactly where price is in relation to this wave right here, you know where it's going. So look, if it's right here, you know the shit's going down, right? If it's right here and it's on its way back up, if it's making higher highs and higher lows, you know it's going to come right back up and at least come up to the peak. All right, this is how I'm able to see into the future. I can see this wave, and I trust this wave with everything that's in me. That wave is everything and anything. Baba's long here for gap fill. All right, Tesla breaks high data be long. You got to be careful. It's still right in the middle of consolidation. Now, NVIDIA did make higher high and higher low here. So, and it just bounced off a major support level, making a higher low on the daily, weekly. So if it breaks 221.50, guys, it can shoot straight up to 225 and then 228. Currently inside here, want to see where this thing stops at. It's chopping. It's sideways. I use multi-time frame analysis. I want to see exactly where price is in relation to overall trend. Right? I want to see where price is. Is it moving down? Is it moving up? Short here. Come on. All right. Got a limit for 70 here. 14070. Let's see where we go with it. But I use a multi-time frame analysis, so I'm looking at the higher time frames and working my way backwards. Watching this trade. Close it. I shouldn't be taking any trade on the outside track. Anyway, I work from the higher time frame backwards. I want to see exactly where price is trending, so I can try to trade in general direction. And also, so if price is going to reverse or continue, you're going to see it on the lower time frame first. So if price is going to reverse or start to continue higher, you'll see it on the 5 minute, 15, 30, 60 minutes first. Because the 5 minute will push a 15, 15 will push a 30, 30 will push a 60, and so on and so forth. It'll start to trigger other time frames. And the higher time frame that is pushing, the stronger the move, actually the larger move. The jury indicator, let's go. Runners are paying today, absolutely love it. Runners are paying today, jury indicator, yeah. No, we need to get us a jury indicator. ACC, please, I'll be glad to. Yeah. It's exhausting. I tell you what, anything it takes a high day here will be long, guys. So 14,096. We are still making higher lows, right? So it's still bullish. So higher low, higher low, higher low. Anytime we take out this wick here, 74 to be short, target's going to be support level right here, which would be 70, 14,070. So if it breaks this wick right here, it breaks $74. It'll be short. Target will be support, 47 or 14,070. The next target would be this wick right here, right? And then support. If it continues, it can break right down to 13,947. Right, so as long as it's making higher lows, it's still bullish. So ACC. ACC, major gap up there. There's no range on it. There's absolutely no range, or there's not much volume on it. There's a 20-cent span on it. It broke a large consolidation. There's a break retest. It's breaking monthly. Big gap up here. So in a pretty good trend up. I don't know why it gapped up, but I'm sure it happened for good reason. It could continue, but I'm probably, if I had to guess, I'd probably say it's going to rest for a few days. Right now, I wouldn't mess with it. It's got 22-cent range on the day, minus a gap up. It needs to break 65.02 before it's long. And it needs to break the low that's here for it's short. And you would target 50% gap fill and gap fill. Now remember, this thing's been pushing up for the gap up, gapped up for a reason. So the chance of this thing filling the gap completely can be slim. I could see it pulling back 30-50%, pushing back up. Right now, 22-cent range. There's a 22-cent range. It's not. I wouldn't touch it. If I can't pull at least $4 or $5 on something, or maybe even a couple of dollars for cheap contracts, I wouldn't touch it. J&J. Plug's fixing to be long over high day. AMD just went long right now, guys. NQ's fixing to go long again here. I'll tell you what, it's just not going to stop. I can't believe it. It's not stopping. QQQ spies to the moon. J&J pushed up, retraced, held support there, starting to make higher highs. J&J can come back up to 184 pretty quick and 186. Want to go to the higher time frame first. It's ugly as shit on the month, but it is breaking the month out. Broke out at 178, making higher highs, higher lows on the week. It came back to retest prior high at 183. Start to push back up. Best trade comes over 186 high today. Halliburton break retest there. Now Halliburton, I'm holding some Halliburton and Robinhood still for some swings. I guess it's paying. Making new highs here. I know it wasn't looking too good last week. MRO been on the bob skin for a while now. It looks like garbage. Making higher highs, higher lows. It's ugly. It's a break retest on the month. It just it's pushing up on the week. It's just ugly on the way. Ugly all the way up. Kind of like Coca-Cola. Still, these are those school stocks here. Major consolidation right here on the monthly. It did take the month there. Gap up. I guess that's kind of like ACC in it. EQ2 been pushing. Gap down, they ate that gap up quickly. There. Longer price consolidates, the bigger the break. So look here, this thing's been consolidating for about 8 or 10 years. So of course it's gonna be a big ass breakout here. I'll tell you another thing that shows strength is this thing gapped down this morning and they ate this thing right up. Everybody bought this thing on a discount. They stick it right back at the top. All right, I'm gonna short NQ here. Let's just see how far it goes. All right, I'm gonna hang on to it for a second. I got money to play with. Don't be like me. Don't be like me right now. Come on. DE's wedging here, or coiling. Really tight consolidation here on the 60, stuck right in the middle of range. Break retest month. Ooh. If DE pulls back below 434, this thing can shoot right back down to 401. So keep an eye on DE, guys. If it breaks this wedge, we could start to roll back over. Yeah, this thing, yeah. So NQ could see 14,296 today if it wants to. Right now it's consolidating sideways after 10:30. So look here, I don't care which way it breaks. Thank you. Yeah, the direction don't matter. The longer price consolidates in this range, the bigger the break. I can tell you that 100% certainty. It goes longer, the tallest wick in the range. It goes short on the lowest wick. If it breaks the lowest wick in the range, target's going to be support. This wick right here. The body, the wick, body, wick. Long right here. It's after 10:30. What's going to happen? Market's going to go to shit. So if you guys have made your money on the day, turn your screens off. That's all I can tell you. Don't you be doing it. I'm still short here. I'm kind of messing around with it. Probably gonna close if it starts to roll back up here. I'm messing around. I shouldn't be. Just close it. I can't handle it. Let me draw this on top. This level right here has got major resistance on it right this second. If it blows these right here, it runs these stops and quickly push back up. Here's what you want to see if it continues. You want to see it break, pull back to retest this level because it's resistant currently. If it pulls back to retest that support level, it'll continue to push higher. Still bullish here because we are making higher lows. Right here, looks like that. So remember these consolidations, there's ways to tell direction. Based on the lows or the highs. So it's making higher lows. I mean, likely it's going to break out the top. It's making lower highs. It's bearish. Here's a couple more patterns too that play along with these right here. There's the M's. All right. Or double tops. It's important. These little things right here make a big difference. If price comes up and it fails to make a new high here, it's bearish. Each time it comes up and it makes a new high, it's bullish, right? And this all has to do, these patterns all have to do with trend, right? So it's just higher highs, higher lows, an uptrend. And as simple as that sounds, it's the truth of it. And then there's W's. Right? And all this is trend or consolidation, right? Because this is a consolidation or sideways move here. And it all has to do with that wave. Now, a lot of times, you know, one of the biggest things that I had problems with to begin with is, you know, is this is it a pullback or reversal? And, you know, for it to be a reversal, it's got to start breaking major support levels and retesting, right? It's got to start making lower highs and lower lows. If it's a pullback, it'll bounce on support and start to push back up, right? So if you're in a long and all of a sudden it starts breaking the strongest and the closest support, it's reversed, especially if it retests that level. Now, these right here are pushing up. If it starts breaking this wick right here, it'll be short. Right now we're just chopping, still making higher highs, higher lows. It's after 10:30. It just made a big ass move, so of course it's going to consolidate or rest. And that's what you want to see, frankly. That's exactly right. Good job. Yeah, I highly recommend everybody do the same thing, guys. If you made your money, I don't give a shit if you made it in the first 5 minutes of the day. If you made your goal in the first 5 minutes, don't get greedy. Turn off your screens and then call it a day. I'm telling you, if you get greedy, you'll end up giving it back. AMD still pushing up here, guys. Still making higher highs, higher lows like NQ. TTWO's long right this second. Tesla's still strong. It's up in the top 25% of range. It is making lower highs, lower lows. Let me show you kind of what NQ could do a little bit later. Let me get rid of this. Tesla. Remember, these pivots are magnets. So price loves to come back, especially after 10:30, it loves to come back to retest these damn pivots. And the market, the way the market is, it's best to take profits and re-enter on the push back up. So right here's a break. It come back to retest it. Now it don't have to touch it to retest, but that is a retest. As it pushes back up, this is also consolidation. So this is a little sideways move here. At the very top, see all these waking up here? That's a major resistance level. This entire level is resistance. Now it's bullish down here, right? So you can take it long over this wick, but the target's only going to be the wick, the bodies, and the individual candles here, because this entire area is a major resistance level. Every time the price gets close to it, they sell off. It sells off immediately. So right off the bat here on top of this wick is a massive group of stops. So if it breaks that level, it should pop very quickly as it runs the stops. But again, it can come back to retest this level before pushing back up. Especially after 10:30, it's a lot of chop. And the reason being, volume and momentum dies. Facebook's going to be long again over high day, and NQ's going longer for the second. There we go. Non-stop. Non-stop. Spies ripping. Let's go. All right, Tesla's breaking it. It's a break retest top side here. It needs to break. Remember, they can do a false break. It's after 10. There's a lot of dirty tricks goes on. So taking that resistance there. Now let's see if this current candle here pulls back to retest that level. So I want to draw a clean line on it right here. This wick up here, that random wick there, could act as a support level. If it's a strong uptrend, it won't even get close to retesting that level. Sell. Come on, let's go. Staying gonna stop. Let's go. It's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. MQ's just not gonna stop. That's Adobe, AMD, both long again here. Amazon's long, Facebook's gonna be long again over high day, and Tesla just went to the roof. Hope you caught in the video too. It's a break retest top side, guy, just ripping. Too long. Uh, I can't believe I didn't start trading this futures. Longer price consolidation, bigger than break. So what happened here is we consolidated and then broke. Remember, consolidation is the rest we need for the next move up. So right here, consolidation. All right, it's bullish because it's making higher lows. Now look here, what happens when it breaks this the highest candle, the highest wick in the range? It runs all the damn stops. So everybody that was short had their stops set right on top of this line here. So see the candle, how big it is? It's so big because the shorts got stopped down and it sold into strength. Yeah. Let's look at this thing, man. It's insane. Anyway, look at the 60. It's straight up. It's absolutely straight up. Oh, Tesla's still pushing up here. NVIDIA is going to be long in over high day. Again, it's coming back up that big solid rep candle on the 60. So when you're looking at taking these trades, guys, target the larger candles when they're coming back through range. Because a lot of the tickers are moving up, right? But your best ones are going to be the ones coming back through large candles. Hands down. They make the best trade because the price action is cleaner. AMD 60 here. First off, it's breaking consolidation down here on the lower half. Right here is consolidation. Now, again, it's bullish because it's making higher lows. So see it right there. Right here. This is actually one big red candle to here. Right? And clean price action through here. Now we're back above this candle here, so it's just a straight shot up to 98.39. If you want to be technical, every damn bit of this is one solid red candle on the way back up. If we go to the higher time frame, we'll see it. Go weekly. Right here on the weekly, there's that big red candle there, and that big red candle actually goes up to 164.46 if you combine them. Regardless, the first target's going to be on the weekly target, because each time frame has its own target or magnitude. It's going to be 98.60 and then 99.59 or pivot. Remember, the higher time frame to pivot on, the stronger it is. So there's one on the daily 4 hours. So this thing comes back up. Remember, that pivot is a major support / resistance level. So price can come up, hit it, reject, come back down, sell off. If price is going to continue higher, right? If it's going to continue higher, it's got to do one thing here. It needs to break it. First off, second, we need to see a retest. Sometimes when price is so strong, it won't even get close to retesting, but you do want to see a higher high and a higher low. It confirms uptrend. Right? Because an uptrend is higher highs and higher lows. Let NQ go here. Yeah, how fast we can go. AMD still pushing here. I mean, long get over high day. Right now, it's so far into range. You can enter on the consolidation break if you're already in it. If you've been in it since this morning, really just manage it. QQQ is ripping here. SPY, the whole market, man. Look, everybody on damn the video or on Twitter be like, I made a killing. Yeah, but you ain't made a killing on last month. Amazon pushing. Hell, everything, yes. I mean, Amazon straight up again. It's right there on that 60 right now. So right up against resistance. Remember, the higher time frame the pivot's on, the stronger the pivot, right? And it's also the bigger the break. Right here on the 4 hour, it's breaking consolidation again, making higher lows. So it's bullish there. Needs to break that 3120 level. Gets us right up to 33.57, 34.16. On the weekly, same thing as a pullback to the top side. Let me show you too on these candles. Now, this is one of the scenarios that was playing out. Was this 50% retracement? So right here, we had that nice push up from here to here. Right. So this is one range. It pulls back where 50%. 50% pull back up. So this right here is going to be we're going to pull back top side will be a higher pivot. Right. It'll be a higher low. At that point, we'll target pivot, and then we'll come right back up to resistance, and then the wicks. Right. As soon as it takes these wicks out, guess what? It makes a higher high. Right. So it looks like this. Thumbs up, pull back. All right, this level here could then act as a support level as a retest. We're going to come right back up 37.62 possible. But again, you know, there's always it can always come back up, so it can do this. We always want to be prepared for everything that can happen. Come up, fail to take out high, and then come right back down. Right, and it can start to contract or coil. Right, it can do all kinds of different shit. So when it gets close to these targets here, take profits, we wait on, see how it reacts. If it starts to consolidate and reverse, we'll take it back down. Right. That's one reason too. We want to take profits when it gets close to high, not when it touches it. Right? Because it double tops. It could fail to make a new high. It could expand the range, trapping buyers, and then it take and go back down. Right. So many different things. Come on, come on. I'll take profits here. Yeah. On that note, I think I'm fixing to call it. Well, I did pretty good today. Everybody should make money today. after 1050, we're going to start chopping here. Amazon, the rest of this market can continue to go higher. Just be aware, these pivots are magnets, and we can see price come right back down these pivots here. I mean, the market is pushing up today, but make no mistake, the market has been shit, man, and it can turn around and pull right back down to a pivot if it wants to. All right, we're coming back up on this big red candle here, 60. So there is resistance starting around 14,197. All right, there's another resistance level at 14,249. Right here on the 30, you can see the buys of the candles a little bit better. And I'll show you a few more things too before I leave. But see, it's a larger candle, medium, small. The volume's getting smaller. Volume's decreasing. So volume is very important. It can tell you manipulation. It can tell you strength. It can tell you who's in control, buyers or sellers. So in resources, there's a book. It's called Volume Analysis by Ann. It's not Kuya. It's something else. Can't think of the last name. NQ breaks this candle here, it will be short. If it breaks this candle's lower, it'll be short immediately, guys. All right, we'll target 50% of this candle, so 129. The reason it happens is because it changes the trend. All right, it makes a lower low. First off, this candle's inside, it automatically makes a lower high. It takes that candle, makes a lower low, and the trend. I'm going to short it here. Or it'll be middle of this candle here, right, and then open low. I would use TPO profile a lot. First off, you need to read the book Volume Analysis by Ann. It's in resources. There we go. I'll take profits there. So volume analysis, you can tell manipulation, you can tell who's in control. You can tell so much stuff just by volume. There's a profile under TOS, if I remember correctly. I think it's TPO profile. And I use it a lot. And after about 2 weeks, I could see this profile without needing the chart any longer. There's a few different things on here you want to change. And this might be something just until you get used to reading volume. It's short here. Just until you get used to it. And this is one reason I'll say the large candles, I don't know if I say it much anymore, but they're like a gap. And the reason being on a CPO profile, it's a volume. It's like a cave. There's no volume there. There's point of control where most shares are bought and sold. And it's concave. There's nothing to stop price from shooting straight through it, basically. Time for profile chart, we want to do it by the day. On expansion, no. Show point of control, yes. Opacity, we'll leave it 50% for now. Another thing I would do is I would mark point of control a different color. You can do whatever you want. I would make it a bold color. At high, at low, and all that stuff, you don't really necessarily need it. The profile is what they're looking at. See that profile? Let me throw the 60-minute chart in here. All right, here's a profile. Anywhere where this red line is here, that's where most shares are bought and sold. Right, so they're happy with the price. Right here, see this big candle here? The volume, the profile goes in. See it? Just same up here. There's not much buying and selling in this area. It's a cave. So the larger the candle is, the less volume is in there. There's less places that can get you caught up. All right, and you don't really need to know this. All you really know is the best candles come back to these large, the best trades come back to these large candles. So everything I do, there's a reason behind it. It's methodical. There's a reason behind everything. But a lot of times I can see this stuff second nature because of the stuff I study. And everything I've studied that I use every single day is in that resource. It's so important to read that stuff. All right, we had took profits on that short there. I think we can come back down on it. The large candles are concave. There's not much places where price is going to bounce or hesitate, stop. All right, but I tell you this: where price is, where the point of control is, or you don't even need this up here. I'm just showing you the reason behind. This is consolidation, right? It's point of control. It's where most shares are being bought and sold at current day. That's chop, right? So when price comes back through there, price can hesitate. So here's right here on point of control. See, price came up and bounced there. It pulled back and shot through right on that level. And the same thing happens on the 5-minute. Where price tends to chop at, that can later act as a support and resistance level. NQ long here. There we go. I think I showed it earlier. I'm getting sidetracked here. But you don't need this profile on there. You want to be aware when you're looking at a trade, you want to look to your left because any place that price hesitated or consolidated, when your trades come back through that range, that's a place where price can stop, hesitate, bounce, reverse, continue, or chop. Right? I mean, that's all there is to it. Yeah, price can chop in that area. And again, that's where these big candles come into play. They basically block everything out behind it. So we take this candle here. If price decides to come back through here in reverse, this big ass candle here blocks out everything behind it. All the noise directly behind this big candle here is blocked out. It's null and void. So say price consolidates here and all of a sudden it starts to come back through. All that shit is blocked out. It blocks all the noise behind it. So to keep your profile, that's the reason why. Get rid of it. Oh yeah, here's another thing. On Twitter, if you see somebody and they're supposed to be somebody, and they keep adding shit to the charts and taking away, and they keep adding different stuff and RSI and MACDs and EMAs and clouds and all that shit. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're struggling. I mean, I rarely change mine. If somebody suggests something, I might add it for a few days just to see, hey, can it improve what I'm doing? If it doesn't, I get rid of it. If somebody's added a bunch of stuff, they're struggling, and it's okay as a new trader. I mean, you've got to use what helps you, right? There's no problem with it if you're a new trader and add stuff to your chart or taking it away. I'm talking about for people that's trying to teach classes and shit, and they're supposed to be successful, and they're adding all this garbage to their screens, continuously changing it. They don't have a clue. They don't have a strategy. So be mindful of that. All right. NQ big candle. Exhausted. It's exhausted. Short right the second best. Woo. Short right here. It can come right back down to 14.096. That's target on 5 minute or 15. So I think I got this 5 minute back up here. First target 11.2. And let me pull up the 5 minute here. Holy shit. 10 points. Pull it up here. So just like we're looking at that TPO profile, please look at the TPO profile right now. Here's what we're seeing. Right here is a major, that was a consolidation. That'd be a place where price can hesitate. Right? So that's a major resistance level. On the way back down, it could act as a major support level. Right. So first target's going to be here. Second's the wick. Third's major support. And I can tell you this, if price comes back and it breaks through this support here and then retest it, that shit can drop like a rock, 13.947. And I said earlier today, there's a good chance it comes up back to 13.947. Sure here. But I can tell you this, right now, what price is doing is consolidating. It's consolidating until it's not. Right. So right now, all this is a consolidation. It becomes a reversal when price is at least 25% from the top and it breaks the strongest support resistance level, right? So here. And you would trigger or enter when it breaks this right here. But you can always, there's always places you can enter earlier, right? So this candle here went inside, automatically making a lower high. And when it took out this candle here, it made a lower low, right? So a downtrend is lower highs, lower lows. Now you can short it each time it breaks the low, so it's making lower highs, lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Target is going to be the strongest, closest support, which is right here. Right? If it starts breaking these levels and retesting, and you're long, I don't care if you're in something else, it don't have to be necessarily this. There's a problem, and it's not going to come back up anytime soon. It takes a lot of buying to break back through that level. So again, it's like this. There's consolidation here, right? Which could be support. Right here, we're looking at consolidation now. Right? So that's literally a sideways move there. If it's going to hold, it would hold between the bodies and that wick right there. If that's going to act as support, right? If it breaks that level there, more specifically, if it breaks that wick there to be short, and you will target 50% of this body here. All right, the open and the low. When it gets really interesting is under these wicks right here. All right. I'll tell you this, when it breaks this level here, you may want to write it down. It breaks this level here. This thing can drop like a rock, right? So I'll leave you with this. Long over this wick here, all right, because it'd be a consolidation break top side. And it'll be short on this range right here. Right here. It's at 1407. That's your big ranges right there. Anyway, I appreciate y'all as usual. Hope y'all have a great day. Enjoy yourself. GC taking on the chin today. GC. What does G say? GC. Futures. Let's take a look. My strategy works with everything. I'm making shit what it is. First off, we're on the month here. We're cupping. It came up. It failed to make a new high here, making it bearish automatically. It starts to sell off. Currently inside, it could be a cup and a handle. A lot of times it'll come up, pull back, and push back up. It's still bullish. The reason being it's making higher lows, right? Right here on the weekly, it came back down. The retest here, it's starting to cup right back up. It's right in the middle of the damn chop. So each time we go lower and lower, we get to look exactly what's going on inside this one candle. All right, that one monthly candle, we can see it. Let's see. And it's like deciphering a picture is all it is. We come up, we fail to make a new high here by 1 cent, making it bullish or bearish. And we look at the lows on these candles here. Each one's higher than previous, so it's still bullish. Right there's that lower high on the daily. Starting to come back through pivot, not a good sign. It can come right back down to 19.28. So it's back in a downtrend here. So if it starts to come back down, it could see 1940. If it starts breaking these wicks here, 1920, I'll come back down to 1893 real quick. Downtrend, come back to large candles. Currently inside, there is some support down here at this 1953 level. See it try to come back up to retest the pivot. Remember that pivot's a magnet, and price loves to come back to retest that damn thing after 10:30, 11 o'clock. So you could actually, if we know that price loves to come back to retest these pivots, guys, we play this shit, right? So here's consolidation. So it breaks the pivot here. We know price loves to come back to retest these things. Sometimes they'll get close. Sometimes they'll touch it. Sometimes they'll expand it, right? All right, take it longer right here. You're going to target this right here. You'll be out. The next time it consolidates, it breaks this wick right here. It retests it. It's short right this second of this candle. You'll target bodies, the wick, and the low of day. So it's just a break, retest, downside. You can play these pivots so many fucking ways. It's incredible. So look here. Trade a breakout, reversal, retest, consolidation, breakdown. You can play the breakout, the top side. You can play the retest. You can play the false break, retest the downside. You can play reversal. All right. You can play the reversal back to the top side, kind of on NQ. You can play the expansion, which just is a false break to the downside. You wait till it retests the top, play reversal back to the top of the pivot. You can play the absolutely breakout, this thing here. You can play the retest and then the sell off back to the downside target. Each time you're going to target higher and higher pivots. So 15, 30, 60 daily, 4 hour, and all that bullshit. Which is the same thing over and over and over, guys. These patterns repeat on all time frames. The higher time frame the pattern, the bigger the move. That's all there is to it. The higher time frame to break, the larger the break. And Q's just not stopping. It's just not stopping today, guys. Love it. So NQ came back to retest support on the 5 minute, only to push right back up. So remember, it's a consolidation until it isn't. When you're looking at the consolidation, the first thing I do is I look to see the closest support levels and see if we get a bounce off that level. So right here, and again, you can play these levels. So right here is a support level. Yeah. So first off, all this is consolidation. There's that bounce off support there. Yeah. And your best trades come outside these consolidations. So of course, if it breaks the high of that candle, it's long. If it breaks the low, you can take it short. And we took it short a few times, scalped it a few times on these lower highs and lower lows. All right. The ultimate target being this range right here, support level. If you want to be safe, you can trade the range. You can trade a consolidation break. So there's consolidation. It's long over the highest wick. It's short on the lowest wick. Same thing here. Long over the highest wick, short on the lowest wick. Now this is now going to be a pivot. Guys, I appreciate y'all very much. I hope y'all have a great day. If y'all have any questions, be sure to reach out. I'm always available. I'm happy to answer any questions. I want everybody to be successful, make a lot of money in this room. Also, I started a private chat on Twitter. I'm trying to find a way where I can get messages out immediately. I've got the phone message, which works out pretty good, but sometimes it could take I've got an app on there, but I got to manually send every message out. So sometimes it can take a minute or two to send them all out. I'm trying to do the Twitter thing. When I type a message in, I want everybody to get it instantly, right? Because a few seconds can make a big difference.
Is there can you trade a private room in Discord at all?
There is. I mean, there's another thing. I can do it on Discord. It doesn't matter to me, guys. I just need to I like to take a vote and see which way what works for everybody. You know, everybody be agreeing on. I don't care which way I send the message out. It's just whatever's the best way for you guys.
So I know the thing with Twitter is like if you follow a bunch of people and there's just like the icon, so you don't get like the notification on your phone, it seems like.
Uh-huh.
But with Discord, I seem to get Discord notifications, like it dings and it pops up, and it's like every time when a new message, I get a notification that pumps through.
Okay. Yeah, Discord is just as fast for text alert. Okay.
Yeah.
Text. Yeah, the text is nice, but iOS has got this weird ass stuff where they don't like to send a mass message. So I'm using what is this thing called? Hit 'em up, and it's really good for storing groups. But when I type the message, I got to send each one individual. Boom, 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 and it can take a minute or two. Literally, it can take a couple minutes. So text. Some people like Discord. I like the Discord too. It's especially if you can turn notifications on and get them. That's the big thing. And then also Twitter. Somebody on the private Twitter, somebody couldn't see one of the messages this morning. So, already having problems with that thing. So maybe we do Discord and then text. I don't know. What does everybody think?
Yeah, give Discord a shot, and I'll turn on just have you as notifications. Turn off all the others.
Okay. Yeah. Put a red flashing light to grab attention. How do I do the red flashing light? On Discord? Okay. And what do you do? Okay. All right. So the Discord will be it'll be along with the Zoom link. So I'll send those out today, and then everybody in the Twitter that's not here now, I'll send them a message out to turn on notifications for Discord. So, all right, guys. I appreciate you, and I'll ask this question too. If you're guys, remind me too if you don't hear me talk about it at open in the morning about sending these alerts out. That way, if somebody's not here, message that. Appreciate you guys. Be careful. Enjoy your day.
Thanks.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Thank you all very much. I appreciate you.